only place that I prefer to love my wife and raise my kids. Ain't the same way that my daddy did, with stars and stripes and eagle flies.
State of Georgia. We are so thrilled to be here. Heidi and I and Caroline and Catherine, we are thrilled to be with so many friends here on this beautiful evening. Thank you for coming out. You know, Jody and I spent all morning in Washington, D.C. So it is great to be back in America. You know, this week on Tuesday, we had kind of a quiet evening in Vegas. How fantastic is it that we have such an array of young, talented, dynamic candidates for president on the Republican side? And what a contrast. I'm pretty sure the first Democratic debate consisted of Hillary and the Chipotle clerk. Well, now actually, that's not fair. That's not fair. We can't forget about Bernie Sanders. So now the Democratic field consists of a wild-eyed socialist with ideas that are dangerous for America and the world, and Bernie Sanders. And you know, it's really quite amazing. It seems like they're scheduling the Democratic debates at 2 in the morning on a Saturday on Alaska PBS. It's almost as if they don't want anyone to see their Democratic candidates for president, which you can kind of understand why. But there is good news. They've announced the location of the next Democratic debate. They're holding it at Leavenworth. They wanted to make it easier for Hillary to attend. You know, all of us are here tonight because our country's in crisis. This is not a typical time in politics. We are bankrupting our kids and grandkids. Our constitutional rights are under assault each and every day. And America has receded from leadership in the world, and it has made the world a much, much more dangerous place. Thank you, and I love you too. And I'm here tonight with a word of hope and encouragement and exhortation. All across Georgia and all across this country, people are waking up. There is an awakening and a spirit of revival. And I'm here to tell you tonight, help is on the way. So I want to ask everyone here to look forward. To look forward to January 2017. If I am elected president, if and when me tell you what I intend to do on the first day in office. The first thing I intend to do on the first day in office is rescind every single illegal and unconstitutional executive action You know, President Obama likes to say he's got a phone and he's got a pen. Well, you live by the pen, you die by the pen. And my pen has got an eraser. But you know, sadly, the corruption has not been limited just to the White House. It is extended across every federal agency of government. The second thing I intend to do on the first day in office is instruct the U.S. Department of Justice to open an investigation into Planned Parenthood and these horrible videos. The administration of justice should be blind to party or ideology. The only fidelity at the Department of Justice should be to the laws and the Constitution of the United States. The third thing I intend to do on the first day in office is instruct the Department of Justice and the IRS and every other federal agency that the persecution of religious liberty ends today. That means that every serviceman and woman has the right to seek out and worship God Almighty with all of their hearts, minds, and souls, and their superior officer has nothing to say about it. That means that the Little Sisters of the Poor, a Catholic charity right now being persecuted by the Obama administration, will find that the case against them has been dismissed. The fourth thing I intend to do on the first day in office is rip to shreds this catastrophic Iranian nuclear deal. The single greatest national security threat facing America is the threat of a nuclear Iran. And we need a commander-in-chief who stands up and says unequivocally, under no circumstances will the nation of Iran, led by a theocratic Ayatollah who chants death to America, under no circumstances will Iran be allowed to acquire nuclear weapons. The fifth thing I intend to do on the first day in office is begin the process of moving the American embassy in Israel to Jerusalem, the once and eternal capital of Israel. Now, you know, a whole lot of presidential candidates, both Republicans and Democrats, have made that very same promise. And yet inevitably when they get to the White House, they don't do it. And the reason is their team comes to them and they say, you know, if we do that, it'll make other folks in the Middle East really, really unhappy with us. Well, if you hadn't noticed, they're already pretty unhappy with us. And the single biggest difference between me and the other very, very fine men and women standing on that debate stage is that with me, when I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do exactly what I said I would do. So that's day one. There are 365 days in a year, 4 years in a presidential term, and 4 years in a second term. By the end of 8 years, there are going to be a whole lot of reporters and editors and journalists who have checked themselves into therapy. In the days that follow, I will go to Congress and we will repeal every word of Obamacare. We'll pass common sense health care reform that makes health insurance personal and portable and affordable and keeps government from getting in between us and our doctors. In the days that follow, I will instruct the U.S. Department of Education, which should be abolished. I will instruct the Department of Education that Common Core ends today. In the days that follow, we will finally secure the borders and end sanctuary cities. There are 360 jurisdictions in this country that declare themselves sanctuary cities. Every one of them is going to find their federal taxpayer money cut off. We're going to stop President Obama's indefensible policy of releasing criminal illegal aliens. We are going to pass Kate's Law, and we are going to end welfare for those here illegally. In the days that follow, we will rebuild the military, and we will honor the commitments made to our soldiers and sailors and airmen and Marines.
I want you as my son's commander-in-chief.
And that also means we're going to protect the rights of our servicemen and women to keep and bear arms and defend themselves. That means the next time a jihadist walks into a recruiting center in Chattanooga, he's going to encounter the business end of firearms wielded by a dozen Marines. We are going to have a commander-in-chief who stands up and makes unambiguously clear, we will defeat radical Islamic terrorism. We'll have a president willing to